Okay, so here's the second level, and just kind of give you a bird's eye view here so you can get a better look at what we did. Let me get we'll use this angle here. It seems to be best. And I'll turn that off. So you can kind of count out all the blocks and stuff like that as far as where the walls go. And everywhere you see, we'll go back down in here and give you a little look-see. And so you can see, because the hallway had sort of a round kind of cutout per each section. It's kind of a strange house. It's a really unique hallway through here. But it was just white walls that were square, flat on the sides like this, and then they had these like kind of round rings right through here every 10, 15 feet or so. And so my best interpretation of that was to use these, and it's not too bad. You kind of get stuck on them when you're going down the hallway, which is annoying, but if you kind of just track down the middle, it's not too hard. So it's really up to you whether you want to add them. I did it just because I wanted some extra architectural features just to make it look a little more unique. And yeah, so that's it. So I'll just kind of take you through each room and how I laid it out, and where you get a better idea like where the windows are, stuff like that. So again, this room probably should have, like, I don't know, like maybe a furnace here or something, just to make it, I don't know, look like it had a fireplace, because they got to stay warm and stuff like that. But I just felt like it didn't need it. I figured, if this was a real house, you can see the smoke that kind of comes through every once in a while from the fireplace below, and so it'd probably put off a lot of heat from this chimney anyway, so you might not really need it. And then again, just the little cupboardy things that I like to make, and chairs, stuff like that. And then this room is, it's kind of just like a nice little room. It's got a single bed over here. I couldn't really think of any better way to lay this one out. I mean, I suppose you could put like two beds right here, but then you're close to this fireplace, and you could make this just a sitting room instead and put like maybe some benches type, chair, couch type things, or whatever. And you got your wardrobe again, and then the ceiling in here. Um, I filled this with wood at this level, so just regular wooden planks. Just sort of just filled it all in and made it so it just had like a little bit cozier. And part of the reasoning behind it too is that you had to have it this way for the next level, because the next level is sort of sunken. And the only way to get around that is because this, or I should say get around it, but the reason I had to do that was because this window here, the roof that's going to go over this is so low that it just makes that space almost unusable. So you could totally just break this out and leave like a vaulted roof, but it looks kind of funny because it's not centered when you have this brick all right here. So it's really up to you how you want to do that. I did the low roof, so it gives you just more closed in feel, and you still have access up to those. It looks a little silly, but so yeah, that's what's going on there. So then, see, we looked at that one. Staircase again, stairs just going up, and then you get to this area, and it is more steps going up. Eventually, I'll show you those later, but and then the stairs going down. It's kind of just the same formula over and over until you get to the basement. And then this room, you have your little fireplace here. This is like the king bed, the master suite kind of thing going on. I put these bookcases here. It's got two ways in and out. You really don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just thought it was kind of neat. It's got the wardrobe, like a little desk. You could put a stair chair right here if you want to. I have one over here as well, and then I put like the little signboard on the side just for the little arm or whatever. And it's just these three wide spaces. It's kind of like, what do I do? It's like, well, I could put a single bed on either side and then put like a chest in the middle or something. But I just wanted to give the appearance of like this grand bed. And I suppose I could have made a like a headboard type thing back here just to bring it out a little more, make it feel bigger. You could do like a four-poster type bed, but with it being 3 blocks, it wouldn't really fit nice unless you had this really skinny bed in the middle. And oh, excuse me again. Ugh, need more sleep. Anyway, yeah, so that's that room. And this room, it's kind of a long room, but it worked out good. You know, you could do the workbench style with the drawers there instead if you'd like. I just crammed one here, and again, this could just be what do you call it? The fences with the little trapdoor thing on top, or not trapdoor, but pressure plate on top, and then move that here if you want. It's just I think I was getting to the point where I just wanted it to get done, so I just sort of was throwing things in there, and yeah. Let's see. So this room is just a little access to like a balcony area. And I'll just kind of zoom out here a little bit so you can see what's going on. And I just sort of cut the roof off for this little nook that's here in the kitchen. And then I built like a bench. I put the little arm there, and none of those are really necessary, And then the rest of this will just be all roof and has a little bit of an overhang to cover it. And then this is another kind of small room. This could be maybe servants' quarters or something. This is like a bed. This chest came in backwards. I imported this from the multiplayer server that I have, and then I had to go through and like clean up a lot of stuff because they just don't paste very well with the schematic, and you lose a lot of things like the doors on these things just pop right off, and then the bed, sometimes you get like a half a bed, and the chests will be all the same direction or something stupid, and it's really, and like all the stairs for the roof and stuff, it used to be way more stairs on that roof, and then I just simplified it with just blocks because they kept coming in all crazy sideways, and it's just really obnoxious. So the one on my walkthrough, the roof is a little more intricate, and I almost like this version better with just solid blocks because it doesn't look quite as goofy. But anyway, so let's go on to the next level. I wanted to show you this roof here and how this was done. So it's basically just a couple of stairs. You just kind of, get the angle, dunk, 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 and then you've got the fences going down. And this right here is just flat nether brick, and then I just put stairs on the front edge just to kind of give it a tapered look because it's such a flat pitch in the real one, and I didn't want it to just be a flat roof entirely, so I added those just to give it that look of like it's got a slope to it and kind of like it's undercut. And this little guy back here, you can just kind of see how that was done, just a couple of solid blocks. And yeah, I think that's all the roofs that roofs, I don't know. Sounds stupid no matter how you say it. And so, yeah. Okay, so this is the like servants' quarters, washroom, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want. Not really their quarters, but like a workroom. So I was thinking, I'm using the pistons again as countertops, and then I've got the little like wash basins, and then I put like these steps to give you like kind of a shelf, so it's like a area where they could rest stuff. And the ceiling's gonna just kind of like come straight over. In fact, you'd probably want to just fill it in with this wood all the way across the ceiling. I mean, you could use anything for your ceiling. If you wanted the white ceiling like we had in here, you could do that. Or whatever color you want to go with. There's gonna be roof over the top of that, so you're really, the sky's the limit as far as that's concerned. And the wizard's room, which I already kind of showed you around this one. This was placed here just to kind of keep the fire from the fireplace below from burning up through. And if you build everything the way I got it here, you should be fine as far as fire is concerned. But this house just it really wants to burn. So you got to be really careful. Again, same thing. I didn't want to put a full fireplace here because without completely encapsulating it with like stone and then having pardon me while I yawn. And then having the ceiling, I guess because it's nether brick, for the most part, you can get away with it, except for the wool that we use, we'll be using up here. It's it should be okay. So I guess you could probably have real fireplaces there, but I figured, if we're making little rooms or whatever, they should at least have something that resembles a fireplace. And then down in this room, we've got, and I used these guys because on the Jamesy Boy texture pack, originally they just had like two sides were drawers, and then the other two sides had like the hammer and the saw or whatever. And so I didn't want the hammer and the saw being visible on this side, so I put the bookcases, and then on this side you'd have the drawers. And this is going to really depend on the orientation that you lay your house out. If you turn it 90 degrees from what I have, it could be totally different, and your saw would be here. And then you put it on this side and you don't see it. There's a new version that I made, and Jamesy Boy Minecraft also has, where he's got these drawers just on all four sides, and I just like that better because it's like, as far as a workbench is concerned, I just don't see a reason to have tools on the outside of it because it's only a one-use item, and even if it was a real workbench and you had drawers on all the sides, it makes sense to me because you could just store your tools inside the drawers. Now, granted, you wouldn't be able to have a drawer here and a drawer here unless there's some weird triangle drawer, but it works. Just that way, you always have this way. So you could break these out and put in those drawers there as well, just for the completeness of it. But I figured this would be kind of like a kid's room with a single bed on either side, and then I just put like a little chair in here. And this could have a chair here and a desk here, but really the chair should be out here so they could actually use it. And then that means your table's going to be extra long, and this is kind of a stupid space. But, it's part of the house, so you don't even really need to add it if you don't want to, but I just put it in there because I wanted it to look like the house as best I could. So, I mean, you could say, well, this is just a little step so they can get a better vantage point and look around out there and stuff like that. So maybe that's what it's for. I don't know. And this I just made kind of a closet. I just did like the half stone type things, and then it kind of makes it dark in the back corner. So you could just put a solid block there if you want to, but doesn't really matter. And then got the door, and then this room. Like I said, got the fireplace. I put bookcases on either side. And then this is the sort of the layout for this room. You just got a series of 2, 2, and I believe this is 4. And then you sort of have the single, just pretty much following the level underneath it. You leave these 2 blocks out because you're going to have nether brick there. So that stuff will come later. Same with this back wall here. This is going to be, I believe it's nether brick stairs that are going in there. And then there's this like little fancy like fence. I use nether brick fence so it matches the same color. And all the textures, like I mentioned before, this could just be all solid color of like white wool or whatever you choose to use. You might be able to get away with sand if you want like a beige color to it. Whatever you want to do. I really like the cross and the stripes and stuff. I just think it looks really neat. But so yeah, so I'll put the roof on next, and we'll see you in a little bit.